Welcome to the Sugar Freedom Channel. I'm Catherine Gordon. Today's topic is how sugar promotes aging and how quitting sugar can help make you younger. If you want to skip to the nitty-gritty, some of the science, and a PDF that I'm sharing with you today, you can skip to it by finding the time in the description. I am going to begin, though, by telling you the story of how I finally changed my eating habits. This was what I call the last straw, the straw that broke the camel's back. What happened was, back in 2008, when I was 43 years old, over a period of 2 weeks, I was offered a senior discount on 3 separate occasions, and I was asked if I was my son's grandmother on 2 different occasions. And the last time I was asked if I was my son's grandmother, I had done my hair, I had put on makeup, and I was wearing what I thought was a really cute and young outfit. But clearly, I looked too old to be his mom. Something was wrong and something had to change. I had fought my weight, overweight, and obesity for a number of years, but even though I was able to handle and manage carrying around extra weight, something about being mistaken for a senior citizen at age 43 and being mistaken for my son's grandmother at age 43 said to me that enough was enough. And it was at that point that I changed everything I was doing in terms of health and fitness. I replaced sugar, grains, and cardio with more regular proteins, including animal proteins, above ground vegetables, and then my training, I switched to weightlifting and interval training. So I completely changed everything around. But the most important thing I did, step 1, was I eliminated sugar and flour from my eating plan. That changed everything for me. It changed my appetite, it changed my energy, it changed the way I felt in terms of my joints, and it also made me younger. Why is it that giving up sugar is making me look and feel so much younger? The scientific answer is glycation and advanced glycation end products, also known as AGEs. This is something I really want to share with you, and I was so glad to find this high quality, really understandable explanation of what glycation is. The effect of sugars on aging skin is governed by the simple act of covalently cross-linking 2 collagen fibers, which renders both of them incapable of easy repair. Glucose and fructose link the amino acids present in the collagen and elastin that support the dermis, producing advanced glycation end products, or AGEs. This process is accelerated in all body tissues when sugar is elevated and is further stimulated by ultraviolet light in the skin. The effect on vascular, renal, retinal, coronary, and cutaneous tissues is being defined, as are the methods of reducing the glycation load through careful diet and use of supplements. Now, wonderful explanation. I don't use any supplements. The only thing that you could possibly call a supplement that I use is my tonic, which is Bragg's apple cider vinegar, lemon juice, and turmeric mixed together. Other than that, I'm literally not taking any other supplements. I did catch a cold over the Christmas holidays, and I sing in the choir, so I really have to protect my voice, so I did take some zinc. But the only time I took that exogenous zinc was when I had a cold, which happens rarely. Other article that I read about, the study that I read about glycation and managing glycation and reducing advanced glycation end products, talked about 2 things: reducing sugar and also increasing types of exercise. One of the things that I discovered when I was trying to overcome overweight and obesity is I was doing a ton of cardio. I was going to the gym, and my son was very young, and there was a child care program at the gym, and that child care program gave you 2 hours every weekday. So I was literally going in, and on either end, so I could drop him off and pick him up, I was spending an hour and a half Monday through Friday doing cardio. And what's interesting is that it was after that period that people started asking me if I was my son's grandmother and offering me the senior discount. And I believe that what was happening is that the cardio and the low-fat, low-calorie diet that I was doing, that these were breaking down my muscle tissue. And at that time, one of the things that was really interesting is I was getting nasolabial folds, I was getting marionette lines, and maybe I will get them again as I get into my late 50s and 60s and 70s and beyond. But the thing is that I was getting them in my 40s, which doesn't make any sense, especially because I thought I was eating healthy and doing healthy exercise. So, what was the solution? The number one solution for me was to eliminate traditional cardio, replace it with weightlifting and intervals. And so I went from spending an hour and a half at the gym each day to spending about 45 minutes 3 times a week and getting extraordinary results. Now, the other thing was, because I did still enjoy going to the gym because that was my me time, my son enjoyed seeing his friends when I would drop him off at the childcare facility. So what I did instead is that I was training 3 times a week, but then I was doing yoga on the other 2 days. So I was still going every day, but I replaced that extra cardio with yoga, and it made a huge difference. And I do believe that it turned down things like cortisol, stress, and helped to make me healthier. Let's go again into the concept, though, of glycation and AGEs and how they increase aging. So there's 3 ways that they increase aging. First, it affects cross-linking, and it creates more wrinkles in your skin. Second, it increases stiffness, not only in the skin, but also in internal organs, which is the term atherosclerosis is actually hardening of the arteries. So the advanced glycation end products affect the hardening of the arteries. And another aspect of eating too much sugar and advanced glycation end products and glycation is also stiffening of the ligaments. When I give up sugar and grains, and of course processed vegetable oils and seed oils, and I also get rid of all of the starchy carbohydrates, high sugar foods, high sugar fruits, as I get that carbohydrate and that glucose load down, I also stop having joint pain, pain in the back of my knees, pain in my shoulder. This goes away. It's so exciting at age 55 to actually find a way to eat that is not only making my skin look younger, but is also making my ligaments feel younger, and on top of that also allowing me to have all the energy that I need. One of the things that also was surprising in the studies that I looked at was how advanced glycation end products and also free radicals, which can come from the breakdown and the metabolism of sugar, that these also can lead to interference in the working of mitochondria. And of course, mitochondria is what changes food into ATP, adenosine triphosphate, which is our energy. Now I would like to turn to a book recommendation and something that I found when I was reading Gary Taubes' The Case Against Sugar. One of the things that Gary Taubes has always done is his bibliographies are often one of the biggest parts of the book. And he cites study after study after study. And I found something in this book that I have literally been looking for years. A couple of years ago, I created my most popular video, which is How to Quit Sugar Now. And I'll drop a link to that video. You can see it in the description. One of the questions that comes up is I talk about sugar and food as addictive substances. And I've had several people ask me, do you have the studies? And at that point, the only studies that I could find were studies on rats, animals. We had those animal studies, you know, the famous one that, you know, the rats who chose sugar over cocaine. Well, I'm so grateful to Gary Taubes and his book, because in his book, I finally found a PDF of a book that deals with food and addiction. Absolutely fabulous. There it is. There's the book. And you can get this as a free PDF. It's called Food and Addiction, A Comprehensive Handbook by Kelly D. Brownell and Mark S. Gold. And the beauty of this, and I will put the link to the PDF in this video, I'll also put a link to the book from Amazon, an Amazon Associates link, if you want to go ahead and buy the book. It's completely up to you, but I got the free PDF. Why am I so excited? Because this entire book talks about all of the different studies that have been done examining whether food, and especially sugar, or also sugar mixed with fat, that whether food acts as an addictive substance. Let me talk a little bit about sugar and fat. Sugar alone makes me overeat. Sugar plus fat makes me overeat. But fat alone never makes me overeat. And especially fat and protein put together in a steak or a piece of lamb or a pork chop or an egg. These are items that I simply don't overeat. I can sit down to a few ounces of steak and a couple of eggs, eat them, get up and walk away. But if I try to eat a handful of grapes, I simply can't stop. If I try to eat a single banana, I simply can't stop. This is the difference for me. Now, of course, I want you to find your solution. No problem eating fruit? I have no problem with you eating fruit. Enjoy. Eat away. The reality is that I simply cannot eat high sugar foods and stop eating, but I can eat fat and protein and stop eating. And sometimes, if I wish, I can also have some of the what I call the above ground vegetables. And on occasion, I also enjoy berries and in-season fruits that are not too high in sugar. So I hope that's helpful today. I am so excited about this PDF. If you've ever wondered if sugar addiction is real, please get the PDF, read it, see for yourself the amount of science that has been gathered about how we react to food. I think it'll blow your mind, and I think it will make you very excited about managing food, especially if you're somebody who overeats. I'm Catherine Gordon for Sugar Freedom. It's available at sugarfreedom.com. Like, share, subscribe, and watch another video. And I'll see you soon right here on the Sugar Freedom channel.